What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. So look, last Friday night, for those of you who don't know, we had a live on every Friday night. Generally speaking, we do these live discussions about the different shows that we're reviewing, and we were discussing on Friday P-Valley, and one of the things we said was we hope that these storylines aren't predictable. We hope that the writing doesn't get lazy. Now let me tell you, this episode let me know they got some stuff for us. There was a whole lot of curveballs, and there was some things that I ain't see coming in this episode, right? The other thing I'm going to say is, if you ever made fun of and or disrespected dancers and what it is that they do, and discounted the athleticism and the pure talent of what they do, this is the episode to look at, because, bitch, those women were doing things up on that pole that I can't do with the flow underneath me, okay? Anyway, so we start this episode off. We see that Miss Autumn is looking for a new look, honey. She done found herself a blonde wig, which, again, I think once again buys into the whole colorism issue. Once she put that blonde wig on, she became a lot more ambiguous in her look. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, and we see her and Uncle Clifford. Uncle Clifford said, listen, you bringing me my money, and that's all great and gravy, but I need my tea. What's going on? What's going on with you and Andre now? She got Andre's nose wide open, honey. He texted her and stuff, and she really ain't paying him no mind, because I really think that she thought she could play Uncle Clifford. But Uncle Clifford was like, ma'am, I still got this fake ID over here. Now, on the surface, I don't think it's that big of it. Like, on the surface, him having the ID ain't that deep. But the backside of the ID situation is, remember, she transferred that money to herself in the fake ID's name, and she gonna have to show that ID to pick the money up. So she can't get to this money she done sent herself until she gets that ID. And of course, Uncle Clifford got this ID until he gets the information that he wants. So the other thing we see is, and I think I mentioned this last week, Miss Autumn is a little closet drunk. Now, I don't know if she has become an alcoholic in the midst of dealing with the issues that have happened post the flood and her daughter and this mysterious husband or boyfriend situation, or if she was already an alcoholic, right? Then we find out some interesting information. Mr. Andre is from, the name of the town, child. Andre is from the town, and he has a relationship with the mayor. It's his godfather or something. Because I think at the end of the episode, he calls him Godfather. So he has a relationship with the mayor. And what it looks like is that this whole situation with the casino has been brewing for a minute, because the casino actually helped him get elected. And he was like, if you help me get elected, then I can help bring the city council around to approving what needs to be approved for this whole casino situation. And, you know, Andre he's one of those people that he's okay with playing dirty if the ends will justify the means. So he didn't have no problem sending the kickbacks to this mayor, to the guy, as long as it was going to get the casino, get him what he wanted as far as the casino was concerned. So now he's feeling like, okay, some things ain't really going right, and I see you using the money in ways that we didn't anticipate. You naming parks after yourself and shit. Like, what's going on? And he was like, listen, that's how business is down here in the Delta. Like, you know, I'm the first black mayor up in this part, so you already know it's going to be a little something a little challenging for me going on up in here. And, you know, it's going to get done. I need you to just play your position, let me play my position, and we're going to position ourselves together. But that's a little curveball I didn't see coming, because as the episode goes on, we find out that he is from this area. He's from this town, which I find it very curious that Uncle Clifford and some of these other people don't know him. And the only reason why I say that is because we see, don't want to skip ahead. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead. We see a scene later on in the episode where Uncle Clifford is having a conversation with Conrad. Now, Conrad is the biracial guy that owns the land from last week's episode. they've known each other since elementary school. And Uncle Clifford was like, why you ain't tell me what was going on with the casino? And he was like, we had to keep everything on the hush hush. And he was like, I can keep a secret. He was like, haven't I, kept yours? And come to find out, Uncle Clifford knew the whole situation with who his daddy was going back to elementary school. And he was like, I've been kept your secrets. Why you ain't tell me what's going on? Now, Conrad still didn't give Uncle Clifford the whole 411 because Uncle Clifford is, at least at this part in the episode, Uncle Clifford is feeling like, oh, wait a minute, so the pink is going to be across the street from a casino? And all he sees is dollar signs, dollar signs, dollar signs. And he was like, so all I need to do is hold on, get through this little hump and hold on because I see what's on the other side of this mountain. And Conrad was like, yeah, know good and damn well that the pink ain't no parts of that plan. Okay, now I had to skip ahead a little bit because I was connecting those dots. And let's rewind a little bit. So we see Miss Autumn come on out. It's pouring down raining. It's, the night is over. The club is closed for the night. And she rolls up on Diamond and the money guy that, be with Uncle Clifford. And it is pouring down raining. And, the money guy asks... she asked for a cigarette. He was like, you need an umbrella. Like, are you going to be all right getting home? Because they know she don't have a car. Diamond going to say, yeah, she all right, and walk off. I said, yeah, Diamond is not feeling you at all. Yeah, Diamond ain't feeling Autumn. He ain't feeling Autumn at all. So Autumn is pouring down raining, and she's sitting there trying to figure out her situation. So she decides to text Andre. So Andre takes her out to, breakfast / dinner, because it's the club middle of the night, early morning, the club closed. And they get to talking, and she sees his, his wedding ring. She sees his wedding ring, and so they talk about that a little bit. And they both sort of show, and to use their words, they show their slip a little bit. She talks about some things about, he said, he's from Atlanta, and they start talking about different places in Atlanta and different restaurants here and there. And so both of them sort of tip their hand that they are beyond this moment, if that makes any sense. Like I keep telling y'all, Autumn has a pedigree behind her. I don't know to what extent, but Autumn ain't from the dirty, okay? She playing dirty right now because she trying to stay under the radar because she don't know if this man is out to get her, but Autumn ain't from the dirty. And so she sort of showed her slip a little bit to let him know that she been some places and know some things. And he was like, you already kind of showed your slip last week telling me about tax shelters and shit. So this older gentleman, he gets in their business because, down in the South, y'all know everybody think they can tell you everything, So he starts talking to them about being on a date and everything. And Autumn plays it up. She was like, yeah, we just kind of driving through town. We done doing our sightseeing for the day. And he was like, y'all, these people come through here and they always want to see the same old. He was like, if y'all really want to see some stuff, y'all will go up there in the mountains. And he starts telling the story about people in the mountains and the traveling every day and carrying death on their back. I'm sure there's some symbolism in it, but yeah, whatever. And so as he finishes up his story, here come Gigi, Mississippi, and Mercedes coming through them. And y'all, they coming in talking about something. Oh, he'll pay for my food. Talking about he gonna pay for all their food, right? And then they end up sitting down with Andre and Autumn. And, Autumn was like, all right, this is my exit. Because, they don't fuck with her. She don't really fuck with them like that. So she was like, this is my exit ticket. So she gets up and she leaves. But she lets first Andre leaves first. Then she gets up to leave, and she lets Andre know, I want to go up in those mountains where the guy was telling them about. I want to get up in the mountains. And so, Mississippi starts clowning her about, so you turning one of your tricks into a boyfriend, because they recognize the dude. They recognize Andre from the club. And she was like, yeah, that's not, that ain't even, we cool. It ain't even that type of party. And, of course, they give her the side eye like, child, yeah, whatever. And Gigi was like, and they were like, well, I think Mercedes called Gigi a hoe. And she was like, I ain't no hoe. She was like, I turned my trick into my boyfriend. That's my man. And Mississippi starts talking about how she got two dudes. One is a doctor, anesthesiologist. And then they were talking about Mercedes and her, couple of her guys. And one is a football coach. which we actually saw at the beginning of this episode. We saw her giving him a lap dance and him offering to move her to Memphis and take care of her, keep her a kept woman, because she was like, and what about your wife type of thing. And, you know, and she let him know. She was like, boo, she said, you can afford me for a dance, but you can't afford to maintain my lifestyle. Like, you can't afford me, boo. So they were just having that conversation about the tricks versus relationships and keeping it in its separate place. And that's going to become a little bit important a little later on in the episode. Okay, a little later on in the episode. Now let's talk about the Mammy situation for a second. So Mercedes rolls up on her mama. Now her mama is standing in the pulpit giving a sermon, and the thing I like about P-Valley is they give you these moments where you think you're looking at a real situation and you really realize you just in somebody else's head, or it's not, I won't even say a dream sequence because it's actually happening, but the people are thinking it's more than what it is. Like at the beginning when Mercedes was dancing with the football coach, it was almost like they were by themselves. It was just the two of them in the club, like he was having a private situation. And then after she turned down his offer to be a kept woman, then you start seeing the club and realizing that they were in the club full of people. Well, it was the same thing with her mama in the pulpit giving her sermon. The church was full, people was clapping, they was getting the Holy Ghost, and next thing you know, Mercedes come rolling up in there clapping her hands, and it was just her mama in the pulpit by herself. So Mercedes and her mom have a moment. Okay, they actually do have a little moment. And she tells her, she was like, where's my money? She said, well, the church did get the loan approved. She was like, okay, well, if you got the loan approved, where's my money? And she was like, well, what you need it for anyway? And she said, listen, a wise woman once told me, don't let nobody know what your next move is, because, you know, they might be able to stop it or whatever. So then she told her mother, she said, it's for my gym, mama. It's for my gym. And her mother was like, you were serious, huh? Like, you really had a plan. Like, you're really serious about this retirement thing. And she was like, yeah. And so her mother said, you know what? I'll cut you the check. Come pick it up tomorrow. And Mercedes ends up hugging her mom. And I think in that moment, because like I told y'all last week, I was like, Mercedes ain't getting that damn money. I think up until that moment, Mercedes felt the same way. Like, my mama is really not going to give me that money. Like, she really played me. But she says, you know, I'll give you the money. So then we see they at a church meeting. And the pastor's getting ready to go on travel. He getting ready to go to a revival. And he said, well, who's going to take over while I'm gone? So, of course, Mercedes' mama sitting there like, you said you was going to give it to me. He ends up giving it to another pastor, honey. Mercedes' mama talks about that man like a dog, talking about how he can't move nothing, and how she gonna have to sing just to bring up the Holy Ghost, just to get some. She said, I thought you would want somebody that could put some dollars in the collection plate, not pennies, And the pastor said, well, I don't know, you're the church secretary, treasurer, and you the best treasurer we've ever had, but I ain't about to put you up in that pulpit. Keep doing what you was doing. I'm going to put, elder so-and-so in charge. And baby, mama ain't happy about that. Mama ain't feeling it. Do you hear me? Ain't feeling it. So I don't know. Now this could go either two ways. Either mama could feel like, you know what? I'm not doing enough, and I need to do more, and she's still going to play some funny games with that girl money, or she going to turn on this dude and realize he been playing her, and I really think that ain't going to be pretty for him or for that church. Now, I don't know which direction it's going to go in, but it's going to go in one or two directions, because she ain't going to keep doing what she been doing, because she ain't feeling it at all. At all. So we have a lot of moments where we see the ladies practicing, and you really, again, they're really giving us some insight into what happens and what goes into these ladies and what it is they really do and how hard it is that they do. Like, this ain't no easy thing that they do. So they give us some insight into that. So we have a couple of scenes like that. We realize that Mississippi done got her ass beat again. Her wrist is hurting. And we see a moment between her and Diamond. Diamond's got some homemade remedy. He said it's a fracture. You know, and he knows what it is. She talking about some she failed child. He said, when you gonna stop falling? You know, when you gonna stop letting this man beat you? But he gives her this homemade remedy to try to help, fix the wrist up a little bit, whatever. And he said, yeah, when I was in Iraq, they used to laugh at me, until it worked. He said, this will fix just about anything, he said, except for a bullet to the head, Can't do nothing about that. And so that lets you know that there's some PTSD there with Diamond. There's some, there's a military thing. We know he served in Iraq. And there's some PTSD situation working with him, which we had kind of deduced that there was something behind that whole silent demeanor. Now, remember last week? Let's talk a little bit about Little Murder. Little Murder, not Monster. I don't know why I was calling that man Little Monster, but I got it right. Thank y'all for reminding me in my comments that the boy's name is Murder. Now, remember last week, Uncle Clifford told Murder he need to go holler at the DJ. DJ Never Scared. Now, why did DJ Never Scared go to private school and he's still in high school? DJ Never Scared still in high school, y'all. But he went to go holler at him, and he played his music for him. And they had a conversation about music in which you may not understand everything they said, because Lord knows I didn't. But what you do realize is DJ Never Scared know his shit. He know about his music. Okay, and he gave him some good information, and Murder was listening. I believe he was absolutely listening. So, he ends up taking DJ Never Scared back to the club, and he's driving a little hoopty. He's driving that G-Wagon or that Hummer he was driving the night he came to the club. He driving a little hoopty, and Uncle Daddy gonna tell Never Scared. He said, boy, you are late. He said, they in there playing a Velvet DeVoe CD. Boy, you don't get in there, get ready. And he said, since when your mother started driving up? So that lets you know that his mama know that he worked to the strip club, okay? So that his mama know he down there, and he sees that it's Murder. And he was like, so you coming in tonight? He was like, nah, not tonight. And they had a little moment where they exchanging looks. And the Uncle Clifford kind of looks around the parking lot. He said, you go and get out of here. Basically, go and get out of here for somebody see us in here having a little intimate moment, honey. So he's protecting that whole situation. Now, here's another little curveball they threw us, you guys. I'm almost done. Here's another little curveball they threw us. We see Mercedes with her girls. They done posted some shit up on Snapchat, honey. They having a bad bitch party. Hashtag bad bitch. And they are all along the wall twerking and stuff, honey. They're going to post it. Now, I don't know if somebody snitched them or whatever the situation was, but Mercedes was able to catch it before they actually put it on, actually put it on the internet. And she is laying them out. She is telling them, she's like, listen, y'all are better than this. That is not what we do. That is not what we're here for. She said, then y'all had nerve to be twerking in y'all damn uniforms. She was like, y'all are too young. The only thing you're going to do is find yourself laid up with something. I mean, she's giving them good information, but she's laying them out. So one of the girls she's going to say something about, this is not what you do. You don't sexualize your body on. You don't do, basically saying, this ain't a good look. Don't be on here twerking on fucking social media. That's going to give men a bad impression of you. So the one girl, what's her name? I'm gonna just call her Takira. That ain't her name, but we're gonna call her Takira for right now because I need to bring her name up later on. But it ain't Takira. It starts with a T. Anyway, she gonna say, "That's what you do, baby." Mercedes said, yeah, but I get paid for what I do. You doing it for free. Where they do that at? It made her look real stupid, right? So, later on in the episode, they end up having the party anyway, right? Honey, Mercedes got that, somebody sent her that link, or somebody was looking at the link, and she ran up on there. She ran up on that party. And she pulled up, and she was going to run in that party. One of the guys, they showed clips of the party. They in the hot tub, they in the pool, they got whipped cream on their ass, they twerking, all of this stuff, right? All of this stuff. She rolled up on that damn party. One of the boys talking about something, ooh, that's another bad bitch. One of the boys said, oh no, I think somebody about to get their ass whipped. Like, that's somebody's mama. That look like. And she rolled up in that party and she unplugged the music and talking about something. Y'all ain't got to go home, but y'all got to get the hell out of here. And I was thinking, how you just gonna roll up in somebody else's party and shut it down? Because I'm thinking she was going in there because she saw her girls on tape, and she was going in there to get her girls. Because of course, as soon as they saw her, they covered their face and they trying to hide and they trying to sneak out the house. But we soon found out why she did roll up in there and felt like she had that authority. She gonna get to what I said I was gonna call her Takira. She gonna pull up on Takira talking about, where you going? It's your house. So this, and it was a nice house. You know, it's one of those, like I said, a pool, hot tub, real nice house. You can tell it's a nice situation. She put everybody out and she gonna yank her back talking about something. What the hell? Like, I thought we had like nipped this in the bud. I thought we had resolved this, that you wasn't gonna do all of this. And she was like, it's not a big deal. It's just a party. We just wanted to have a little fun, blow off some steam. She was like, but like I said, like, this ain't a good look. Like, you all over the internet, your ass and whipped cream. Like, that ain't a good look. So she was like, where's she at anyway? Talking about her mama. Well, we thought her mama. She was like, well, she had a meeting. You know, she had a meeting out of town or whatever. So she, Mercedes ended up calling her. Well, at the time, thought it was her mother. And she got the girl cleaning up. And of course, she laying her out. And she was like, and why she leave you here by yourself anyway? What's that about? Like, she shouldn't have left you here long. She was like, well, at least she leave me abandoned like some people leave their children. Like, you left me. I said, oh shit, that's her daughter? So the auntie ended up coming home, and auntie and Mercedes ended up having a conversation. And what we find out is that is the sister to the father. His name was Cortez. And she was like, you know, I promised Cortez when he died that I would take care of her, that I would raise her. I promised Cortez. And she said, I'm appreciative of everything that you've done. Like, I appreciate the fact that you're taking care of my child. She said, yeah. She said, but I don't know what's been going on with her lately. She's become way over sexualized. She's become way too obsessed with her body. And, you know, I don't know what the deal is, but we're going to have to do something about that. Like, we're going to have to resolve it. She said, and she just can't be on the dance team no more because I just don't approve of all of the booty shaking and all of that. Like, it just gets to me too much. And Mercedes was like, oh, come on. Like, you can't do that. Like, that's the only time I get to see her. That's the only time I get to spend time with her. She was like, yeah, I understand that. But we're going to have to figure something else out because her being on your dance team, can't do it no more. But can't do it again. So again, that was a twist that we didn't see coming, honey. We didn't see that twist coming, child. So back to the club. Let's talk. We almost done, y'all. We almost done. Back to the club. Mercedes is doing a post on her Instagram, honey. And the baby get to crying. And so she needs somebody to hold the baby while she can finish putting up her post for the night to get her people come to the club. And she ends up giving the baby to Autumn. And Autumn again starts having these flashbacks of a rainy night, her getting in the car, the baby, blood. Once again, we're piecing these things together, but her child clearly was involved in this accident that she has this PTSD about. So Autumn, her response is to do what? Get drunk. So we see, once again, y'all, we see this wonderful situation where they calling them the Trinity. It's Mercedes, Mississippi, and Gigi. And baby, when I tell you they working that damn pole. And Gigi is a former cheerleader from Ole Miss, and you know they got the whole thing going, and they do their whole triple thing where all three of them are on the pole at the same time, and they do their stuff. And you know Uncle Clifford is MCing, and I mean the money is just flowing. Now by this time Autumn is drunk. The bartender didn't cut her off, but she got guys buying her drinks, and she's drunk off her ass. I mean drunk as a skunk drunk. And she decides she wants a piece of it, so she gets up on the stage, and of course Mercedes immediately is pissed off, like, what you doing up here? But she's a professional, okay? She played it off. She made it look like it was part of the routine. Even when Autumn ass got drunk, you know, her drunk ass fell on the stage, Mercedes turned it into a moment. You know, she straddled her and turned it into a whole lesbian fantasy moment type situation, and she played her position, right? But baby, as soon as that number was over and Autumn was backstage, Mercedes went to her. She said, don't you ever get on my pole again. She said, what are you talking about? The guy, and everybody loved it. She said, yeah, But what you not gonna do is get your drunk ass up there and put me in jeopardy, because you could hurt me, because she damn near fell on top of Mercedes trying to get on that pole drunk. She fell on top of her. But like I said, Mercedes, being a professional, was able to turn it into a moment. But she told her, she said, don't you ever get your drunk ass on my pole again. So then Uncle Clifford says, listen, I ain't got time to keep playing with you. Where's my information? Like, and the people from basically the Western Union police, the place that called her and said, listen, we only gonna hold this transfer for one more day, or we're gonna send the money back. Like, you need to come down here with your ID. So she running out of time to get the ID so she can get to this money she done set for herself. So she ends up calling Andre for them to go out on another date, child. So Andre takes her to the mountains, and they have like a whole moment, and then she tells him, let's go back to, let's go back to your room. She gets to the room and she sees his laptop there. So they get all hot and heavy, and she said, you got a condom? And he was like, no, I don't have no condom. She was like, okay, well, I need you to go get a condom. And while so he gets up to go get a condom, and she points to the laptop and she says, can you log me in so I can, keep this party going until you get back? Basically insinuating I'm gonna watch me some porn so I keep myself going while you leave. Now Andre, you knew good and damn well not to let her get in that damn laptop. You ain't had nothing hidden, nothing secured, nothing. Like, I know you on the surface wasn't thinking that she was up to what she was up to, but even just in general, just human curiosity, just nosiness. Ain't no way in hell I'd have logged nobody into my damn computer without. Hell no. No, ma'am. You better get on that phone and Pornhub.com like everybody else. Anyway, child. So, of course, while he's gone, she emailed herself all the plans. She done found the plans for the casino and all that other stuff. She done emailed all that stuff to herself. And I was wondering if she was going to actually go through with sleeping with him. And I think she probably was, because she's feeling him. She likes him. But then she went into his gallery, and the pictures that he had been taking all around town, he had all these pictures of her when she didn't know he was looking. So, of course, she didn't appreciate that at all. She wasn't appreciative of that. So by the time he got back to the room, honey, she done disappeared. And she went straight down to the Pink to give Uncle Clifford the information. And that's when Uncle Clifford realized, wait a minute, the Pink ain't on these plans. And it even said under the Pink's name, pending transaction. Meaning, like I said last week, they're going to call that damn loan in on the Pink. That's why they done called that loan in like that, and they're not giving him no leeway, because they're going to call that loan in, and that's how they're going to acquire the Pink. They ain't going to have to pay him shit. They're just going to pay that loan off, and that's going to be it. So they're going to basically end up getting the Pink for $55,000, give or take. So Uncle Clifford says, all right. She said, give me my ID. He said, I'll tell you what. He said, I got one more thing I need you to do for me, and then you can have your ID. And he ends up taking her phone and sends a text to Andre from her phone, basically saying, I need you to get down here to the Pink. I'm sure some salacious ass, I want to give you a private dance. We're going to go to the private room, and the password is X, Y, and Z. So, of course, Andre comes down there, because when he got back to the room, she had left the computer open. So he knows she saw the pictures of, maybe not so much about the casino stuff, but definitely about the pictures he'd been taking of her. So, baby, she get the he go into that back room thinking he about to get him a lap dance with some damn Autumn. And who is it? Uncle Clifford. And Uncle Clifford is like, listen, you gonna tell me everything you know about this damn casino situation. What's really going on? And he was, and Andre was like, listen, it's a private situation. He was like, sir. And of course, he got the money man in there with him too. So, they doing that whole intimidation game. And he was like, listen, like I said, I don't see the Pink nowhere on these plans. So what's the deal? What's going on? And the guy told him, he was like, listen, you pretty much ain't on the plans. And he said, well, y'all not going to get the Pink for free. Y'all going to have to pay me. He was like, well, from my understanding, you barely holding on to the Pink. You're going to Clifford. I mean, you might be right about that, but don't you worry about what I'm holding on to. So they basically got Andre over a sling. And as soon as they let him up out of there, honey, because like I said, they wanted to get all the information they could get out of him. As soon as they let him up out of there, who the first person he called was his granddaddy, a.k.a. the mayor. Now, last but not least, the last little piece of information that we need, the little dot we had to put together. Remember when Uncle Clifford was holding those drugs for that guy, and he was like, whenever they gonna get through here, the drugs that he's holding is for Gigi's boyfriend. He finally came through to pick up the drugs, and he paid Uncle Clifford, and that envelope was thick as hell. I don't know what he done paid Uncle Clifford, but he done paid Uncle Clifford. You should have damn near at least half that $55,000 by now. I mean, damn, between cashing the checks and selling the weed wings and the money that the girls is giving you, like, I don't know what Uncle Clifford is doing with his money, but he should have about $20,000. $20,000, $30,000. Hell, I done seen $20,000, $30,000 come through your hands in the last 2 weeks, my damn self. Okay? And like Murder said, you ain't got no hookah. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got a whole lot of amenities here. What's going on, Uncle Clifford? What is going on? Anyway, child. So, but what we also see is that Miss Gigi might have a little situation going on because she got herself some of his drugs, and she said, oh, it's for Mississippi. You know, she hurt her wrist the other day in practice. He said, you sure it ain't for your mama? So there's a little situation there brewing. So anyway, y'all, that was it. We got a lot of good information this episode. From my understanding, there are only 8 episodes. So we're going to have to get it in and get it quick. So they gave us a lot this episode. So we're going to see what it brings next week. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.